Hello, everyone. My name is Patricia Wagner with the Living in Heart Center Gratitude Facebook group. And today is member introductions with a very special member from Germany, Katrin Lambert. Welcome, Katrin.
Thank you for having me. Welcome, everybody.
I'm I'm so glad that you and I met through the World Unity Week and the Sign Network and Unity Earth and all of the workings, the 99 Days of Peace work that they do, because I know you're intricately involved in that. And I have been to some extent involved in it as well as a lot of the people in our Living in Heart Center Gratitude group have been as well. But I want to, before I start, you start sharing with us with the work that you do, which to me is fascinating, although I have to confess, I don't really understand it, but maybe after today, I will understand it much better. But this is your formal introduction. Katrin Lambert says, every problem, discomfort, disease usually has an energetic cause. It can be on the physical, mental, spiritual, or karmic level, a blockade, a negative belief, or an attachment. As a test medium, she says, I help to track it down and lead it into transformation directly. My method is very structured, systematic, and quick. She is the founder of quantum-transformation.com. That's a website, quantum-transformation.com. She is a certified practitioner of Praneo-Om, and if I mispronounce that, please correct it when you start talking. An energetic information transfer and matrix quantum coaching. She's co-author of a card deck called Transformation Code. She's been a speaker at international online summits, including 11.11 Unify, which is 1111unify.com, and at World Unity Week, which is how we met, and several German online summits. She's the co-founder of a design studio, and you can take a look at that at activesportsdesign.com. She's a member of the Seroptimist, I think that's how you pronounce it, Seroptimist International, and the Sign Network. Katrin says awareness is the basis of healing. Welcome, Katrin.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that sounds like a lot, and it is. In my first life, I am a designer, but since many years, the energetic healing has come into my life very strongly through own experience. That's how it goes always. And so life and the universe set me on track, and there was no resistance possible. So I just did what I had to do and learned the method. The basis of my method is testing with a tensor or the dowsing rod. There are a lot of testing methods out there with pendulums or kinesiology, but we use the tensor. And the basis of the method is the new homeopathy, according to Erich Körbler. It's a method that is not very well known in the United States, but meanwhile, there are some people, and there's actually also a book about it, as I have noticed. And the new homeopathy is very strongly related to the traditional Chinese medicine, because we work with the meridians, with the acupuncture points. We test the system on the acupuncture points, and instead of putting a needle in, we paint a symbol on it, and which has the same effect. And we use those symbols designed by Erich Körbler also to do water transfer, to inform water so that it is healing. And I will demonstrate this in a short while. But that wasn't enough for me and my mentor and my colleagues, because we thought what is really, really, really interesting is getting to the core, to the root cause of whatever is bothering you. And we work with a lot of lists because we can systematically test what is the root cause of the thing that bothers you. If it's a physical problem, or if it's an emotional problem, it doesn't matter. It can be also used for animals, for your children. We can always track down the root cause, and that is the core of my work. And for this, we have made our lists in a very nice and geometric and beautiful way, so that we don't even need to read, because we will just test, do I find the root cause of this problem here or here or here? We only work with the system of the client, and my opinion doesn't count. I don't have an opinion. That doesn't matter. Sometimes I know what is happening, but for my clients, it's much better that they can see what I'm doing. I'm testing the root cause, and then I test how severe is it, and are there underlying root causes, and then we go directly into transformation for this. And I can just talk about my own experience, just as an example, to show you how it works. It's many years ago. I was very, very tired. I was really fatigued, and there was no reason. I slept enough. I had enough, a good nutrition. I had no obvious problem. Everything was okay on the surface. And after seeing this for a while, my colleague, whom I work with her since more than 25 years, she said that's not normal. You should get in touch with my friend and ask for a session, and she will find the root cause, what is happening with you. And so I did. And we did this on the telephone. And she just tested, like the work I do now, that the root cause for my exhaustion was a karmic implant. It had to do with my family, with my ancestors. And so she found out that I was carrying a karmic backpack from my grandmother. And I immediately knew what it was all about. I would have never found that out by myself, but I didn't make the connection. But we transformed that, and also did some things about electrosmog in my office, where I spent a lot of time. And after that session, which lasted 1 hour, the problem was gone. And that was the point when I thought, this is so great, I need to learn this. And so I studied it and developed the method together with my colleagues. And so I'm working now with clients since some years, hundreds of them meanwhile, and I really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun doing this, and I do that with all my heart, and I'm very grateful that I am able to do this. And do you have questions, Patricia?
Well, of course I have a lot of questions about it to get into. It sounds, I know that it's true. I just know that it's true, and that's how energy healing was for me as well. And that there was just an intuitive knowing that it was true. And did you find this, Katrin? I mean, you first had an experience personally yourself that proved to you that, wow, this is really powerful and I want to learn it. But then, did you as you started developing your practice and working with clients, did you gain more and more faith in the process and belief and confidence that how powerful this work is? Because that was my experience using energy healing. It wasn't the same modality, but it had similar results. So talk about that a little bit, and if you can talk about some of the examples of clients with whom you've worked and found such amazing results with. If you could share that with us a little bit, please. Thank you.
Yes, yes, of course. It is a lot of practice. It's like learning how to drive. You need to practice and to gain security and just experience a lot of different experiences with clients and with their different problems. Everybody is unique, and of course, it's necessary to gain confidence during practice. And as I say, everybody is unique, and it's the same for the path of healing for everybody. There is not a single one who has. They often have the same problem, but they don't have the same root causes. That's why we call it new homeopathy, because like in homeopathy, a sugar pill that helps one person doesn't help the other one with the same problem. So it's a highly individual work. And for example, one of the quickest things I ever experienced was with a close friend whose mother suddenly got very ill. And so she lost her sovereignty because she was bound to her house suddenly. And this lady wasn't used to that. And so she demanded a lot of help from her only daughter, the only caretaker. And she loved to do this for her mother. But of course, conflicts were happening because she was full-time working, and so she had to run there in the morning, run there during midday, run there in the evening, cook food, help her, and have her business at the same time. And that made her angry, and this being angry made her feel guilty. And so it became a vicious circle. And I said, come visit me and we will work about it. And we found out the root causes, and we decoupled the energies of the mother from the daughter and did a little bit of forgiveness work. There are a lot of elements you can do. The method you have is the right one. So this is applicable to everything. If you know the root cause, the method you have will be the right one. And after doing this, also a session of not even 1 hour, forgiving the mother, forgiving herself, very important, and detach their energies, and praying for a better relationship and a better resonance. She went home, and after some days I thought, I wonder what is going on with them, if it's gotten better. And I called her, and she says, oh yeah, everything is okay. My mom treats me totally differently. She's less demanding, she's more grateful, and everything's fine. And I thought, okay, it's that easy. It's just her resonance changed, and so the resonance her mother had with her changed as well. There was no other way. So if you communicate differently, the people you are communicating with have to adapt to that. And this was a very simple example. But I also work with constellations. I do family constellations on paper or with little figures. And we sometimes do that in advance of, for example, a family gathering. When people say, I don't feel good about this family meeting, I'm really scared. If it is like it always was, with a lot of conflict and ungood communication. And so we do a constellation and include the higher selves of all the participants and swing in or put in new energy impulses with an open question for the highest best of all. And until this day, all those meetings always work perfectly. So the resonance of this work is also great. Or one example, totally different. Once again, I have a very dear friend, an elderly gentleman who is a dowser himself. He's very knowledgeable when it's about geopathic things and water, but he had a problem with his shoulder. He had a pain in his shoulder for years, and he couldn't get rid of it, and he had no idea where it was coming from. And so I sat down and I tested that he had a weapon in his back energetically. That is called what we call alien energies or foreign energies. And so we had to pull this weapon out of his ethereal body. And I didn't even tell him what I did because I did it as remote work. And we were talking some days later and he said, "It's gone. What did you do?" So this is one example. Sometimes it's very, very easy. And what I wanted to emphasize is we distinct between root causes from the inside and root causes from the outside. So the inside is everything that is in your own experience. So it can be the spiritual level, the mental level, the emotional level, the body, physical body, ethereal body. It can be blockages or karma, karmic stuff, or things from your ancestral field. That's root causes from the inside. But there are also root causes from the outside, like, for example, electrosmog. So everything that has to do with frequencies which are not natural. And it can be geopathic things like earth grids or a water vein under your house. People know that very well. So this is something that is really well known. Or it can be a soul attachment. So you have an attachment of a soul of a deceased person. And this can be very harmful for your frequency. And but it's very easy to solve by accompanying the soul into the source of all being, if the soul wants that. But there is no right to be attached to you, so it's always possible to solve this. Or it can be that another kind of entity or being is influencing you. That's also a root cause from the outside. Or that you are integrated in a thought field, which can influence you, not for the better, but for the worse. It's called egregorial field. That's a thought field or an emotional field where people are in because of culture, of society, of their family fields. There are fear fields. We have experienced this in the past years. And these fields are entities by themselves, and they pull energy out of all the people that I included. And when you realize this, or when we test for that, we can pull you out of this field. It's just a matter of consciousness, everything, as you know. Or there are also things like sabotages or manipulations that can pull energy from you, or functions, programs that we all have, like by education, by our parents, our families, our cultures, our religions. And so there are certain programs that we follow, which are not always to our highest best. And this is things that people are not very aware of. So it's very easy to explain something that is on the emotional level because everybody knows what that is. But when it comes to foreign energies, it's a little bit more complicated and unknown. But it's nothing to fear. It's just when you know something, you can do something about it. It's all about knowledge and consciousness.
Katrin, I love the story you said about the mother, the daughter and the mother, and
Mhm.
that it was the daughter's release and change in her own energy field that absolutely changed the whole dynamic between them.
Mhm.
So we can do that. And would you say that a person can truly change their whole life by the vibrational field that they hold through their feelings and their thoughts that they maintain? Would you say that that is possible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay.
did it.
You what?
Because I did it. I can say
You did
yes.
it. Yes, yes. I bet you did do it because you're doing this work and you're aware of this. And I know when you and I spoke preliminarily, I guess a month or more ago, you actually offered to do a session for me. And I was mentioned to you that I had a fear about approaching my community with the idea of asking our community to embrace the practice of living in heart-centered gratitude. And had a little hesitancy doing that. So you worked with it and worked in and intuitively, or through the process that you use energetically, traced it back on my mother's side, back 5 generations, this fear that was, prevalent in there. And I have to tell you, it felt very real. It felt correct. It felt correct. I knew it was correct. And circumstances didn't turn out where I have approached them yet, but it's still on the horizon to do that. But I love what you're sharing. And if anyone wants to reach you, I think you have an email address that you can share. Is it
Yes.
info@ quantum-transformation.com? Is that
Yeah.
your email?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can also
Info.
find it on the website, and you can book a session to just to talk for about 20 minutes to get to know me, and then we can have an appointment for a session. So it's very easy.
Very easy, and remotely is just as effective as in person. So, not to worry about different countries and across the globe or anything else, just like you and I are talking.
Yeah.
So, the website is www.quantum-transformation.com, and Katrin's email is info@ quantum-transformation.com. So reach out to her. Another quote in your bio that you mentioned is a quote by Deepak Chopra, who says, and this ties right in with the work that you do, whatever you aren't aware of cannot be healed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
anyway, any last minute words before we close this session?
You asked me to share how we do a water transfer. Should we do that?
Oh, I would love for you to do that. Oh, that would be awesome. Okay, I'm turning it
So
back to you.
as this is your, you can do it with me if you
Oh,
can, if you have some
okay.
water available.
I actually have my water bottle.
And it's all about integrating the frequency of gratitude because this is your topic, your big thing that you love and want to bring out into the world. And um, to do this, I would ask you to feel gratitude and to ask during the water transfer to implant the frequency of gratitude inside of you in balance with the opposite, because it's very important that we do not only strive into the light and into the good, because this will bring this will shift the balance of, the duality we're living in. So we ask the source of all being, which is pure love, to integrate this frequency in balance with everything that is, to make sure that we are not going into just one direction and forget about the other thing. I think this is very important. And now I will show you. You just need a piece of paper, and I prepared this. And you write the word. Can you see it on the right way? Good.
Yeah.
And I just wrote gratitude. You can also write headache and transform it. So being free of headache, or being free of something, or whatever frequency you want to integrate. This is just the example. We take the gratitude and we take the letter Y. The letter Y is very important. It anchors in a frequency in us or to the earth. And everybody can do that also by just being a Y. It's very important in the Mayan culture. It's very important sign in the new homeopathy. So we work with this, and we take this piece of paper with the information we want to integrate in our left hand, because the left hand is the one which receives, and we take the glass of water in the right hand. I'll turn it around, and then we look at the paper and say, water transfer, please, and my cells now take in this information. Water transfer, please, and my cells now take in the information. And we just look at that word and feel in for a minute. And then we usually feel when the transfer happened. And then we take the water and smell it, so it goes through the limbic system, and drink it. During some time, doesn't have to be all at once. And so we can have the information in our body and embody it, literally.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. It reminds me of Dr. Emoto's work with the words on water and petri dishes. And I have placed actually stick on words on the bottom of my water bottle sometimes that like gratitude or love or
Yeah.
whatever, because it's conveys the frequency into the water and then I drink it. And in fact, when I had an active hands-on healing practice back in St. Petersburg, after I would charge with energy healing a water bottle so that after the client session, I could hand them that charged water bottle and ask them to drink the water, as you know, and take it with them as they
Yeah,
drink it.
absolutely. Great
Yeah,
idea. It's
yeah,
just a little different. It's a little bit more active when you do it like we have done right now than just placing a glass of water on something. It's just a
yeah,
little bit more conscious, but of course you can always take a symbol, for example, like this is the symbol for universal balance, and put the glass on it during the day. Or working with water is the easiest thing,
yes.
and water is intelligent, and we should thank it for this intelligence. We are water.
This is a wonderful reminder, Katrin. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that because I think it's so simple that we overlook it. And how important it is to replenish every day with enough water. I'm telling myself that because
Do
oftentimes
that.
I get so busy I forget, But yeah, that was great. That was great and such a gift. Thank you, my dear. This is wonderful. I'm so glad you're part of our Living in Hearts and in Gratitude group. I know everyone who watches this member introductions and becomes aware of you and your work that you're doing will have the opportunity to connect with you and learn more and experience more and perhaps have a session or two and become one of your clients. So we have many energy healers in our group, but this is a modality that I had never heard of before I met you. So it's a wonderful addition to the repertoire of modality, energy healing modalities that we have. So thank you for bringing this for all the way from Germany, and I thank you. And is there anything else at all? Yeah.
Um, First, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And I just thought about that on November 9th, I will speak on the 11/11 Unified Ascension University event. And I will talk about thought fields. And I will also do a transformation live. It's a live event about and teach how to pull yourself out of a thought field or an emotional field. That could be very helpful for a lot of people. And I will also offer a free giveaway with highly energetic symbols to assist this process um, if you want to do that. So this will be on November 9th, and I will post it in the group if I may, so that everybody can.
Absolutely. Yes,
So,
I'm going to post your member introduction in the first part of November
mhm,
so that it will precede that November 9th. And then underneath the video, if you can really explicitly, post that, because then they'll know who you are. So, because we're recording this in October, but because it wasn't on the October offerings list, I'm going to post it at the beginning of November so that then they will know you, they will know your work, and you can also invite them personally to that
great.
11/11 Unify event. So this is great. Oh, I love it. I love it. And anything else that you happen to be in that you feel would benefit our members, feel free to post that in our group. Our group
Okay.
freely offers their gifts to each other to bless one another, and you certainly are a blessing in our group. So thank you, Katrin. Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you, and have a wonderful day. It's evening here already.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being with us, and I'm sure that we will talk again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.